happy Thursday. Gosh, I almost said happy Friday. So happy Thursday, everyone. Just wanted to go live and talk about something that came up yesterday on a coaching call. And we were talking about communication, which is part of my care leadership model. And as far as communication goes, there are different styles of communication for each person. And the client said that her preferred method of communication was written. She preferred texting with business partners. But anytime the business partner needed to contact her, the business partner would call her. And that was not her preferred method. She's like, how do I deal with this? I don't want to make a big deal of it, but I'm much more comfortable with written communication because I can go back and review what was said and just look over, like, did I even say that? Did that come up in the conversation? And be able to be informed and make sure that she wasn't repeating herself and that she really did make the ask for whatever it was. And the business partner was struggling in agreeing to some of the terms of the contracts and wanted to discuss it over the phone. Somewhat old-fashioned, but when we sat down and looked at it, some of the things that might be going on is when you write something, whether it be in a text or an email, and you give it to someone else, they can't tell intonation. They can't tell whether you're angry when you're saying something, whether you're being forceful and pushing things, or whether you're simply just saying, I thought I had this idea, what do you think about this? And just purely just bouncing an idea. That doesn't come through in a text or in an email. So what I suggested is the reason she might be getting odd responses back from this other business partner is because they can't tell what the context is. I said, why don't you try sending a voice memo instead of an actual text, because then he can listen to the intonation in your voice and you can still go back and listen to it. It's not as convenient to listen to something as it is to actually read through a text. I think it's faster to read through than to re-listen to a memo, but you can actually see what's going on. And that's all I'm trying to do, is make sure that if you have trouble communicating with someone on your team, that you think about what their preferred method of listening is. So is it that someone needs time to process what's being said, and in a phone conversation they can't think as on their feet as well as you do, and they feel like they're a little behind, or that you're pushy or dominating because you're the leader, and so they just say yes and then realize later that it's not something they wanted to do, or they don't understand and they have questions and they're afraid to come to you. Whereas in writing, you may think it's clear as day, and everyone has had this experience where you write a long email, you send it off, and no one does what you suggested that they do in it, and then someone finally comes to you and says, well, we heard this in the email and this is why. It wasn't at all what you intended. So I'm just saying, when you're going to communicate with someone, whether it be a coworker, an employee, or even a family member, everyone has their preferred method of communication, and sometimes it's not the same method as you. So try compromising, and sometimes use their preferred method, sometimes use your preferred method. And then try and figure out how to make sure that you're still being heard, and ask if this is what they really meant. And that's all you need to do. So I just want to say, have a fantastic Thursday, and I appreciate all you guys, and have a great day.